Leader, a great leader doesn't motivate. The manager motivates. The great leader inspires people. There's all kinds of people like, I'm a leader, and they look behind them and there isn't a single person following. I've worked for some of them. I stayed as far away I could because they really weren't leaders. Maybe okay in management. A leader is not afraid to make a mistake. Not afraid, no fear. But a manager is afraid to make a mistake. Leaders only make new mistakes. See, there's a difference. A leader doesn't think just black, white. A leader thinks gray. It's very, very broad. I can cast vision. It's big. A manager is definitely who thinks in black and white. And if you don't understand those differences within the, your own store, you're going to be thinking, what's really wrong? Well, what might be really wrong is there's no leadership whatsoever in the store. Either because somebody's choosing not to, they're not capable, but this is a big issue. Most people don't think about it, and it affects a lot of other areas we'll probably talk about. Low to high competency. This is a big issue in our business that not enough people talk about, but we tend to, in the car business, car dealerships, we tend to attract the lowest common denominator. We tend to see resumes with criminal records. Yuck! This is not the kind of person we want working in our store. We've got videos running actually downstairs right now that make you guys, the car dealerships, look bad. Continue to demonize and stereotype you. And you buy leads from some of them. Shame, shame, shame. Anyway, low to high competency. This is important. You want to look for people that are very competent. You want to find people that have a high level of education. You want to look for people and hire people that their communication skills, both written, both on the phone and in person, are absolutely top-notch. If you don't, then you've got all caps emails flying out. You've got people that don't know how to punctuate. They start a sentence and the first word isn't capitalized. I got that last week 3 times when I mystery shopped 22 dealers. It's not good. Low to high capacity. Some people can have a full plate. And they are absolute rock stars, and you know who they are, you can quickly identify them, and then others seem to struggle with just, one little mini burger on the plate. That's all they can handle. Just a mini burger, that's all. Okay? You have to be very cautious of who you're going to have running the internet department. And nowadays, you know what? Everybody you hire, you should just pretty much plan on certifying and making them internet people. 98% or something like that of all searches for anything starts on Google or Yahoo. So that includes cars. You got to really factor in the fact that the majority of your customers come from the internet. That's the main point. It doesn't matter if it's 98% or 72% or what J.D. Power says or Pulpit, whatever. The point is it's a minority of people that you could actually call a traditional walk-in buyer. Important to know that distinction. So, low to high capacity, you want to make sure that you're identifying people to work in your internet department, really in your dealership, that are high capacity. Strengths versus weaknesses. How many of you have ever interviewed somebody? You can raise your hand if you've ever had an interview. Or if you've ever gone to an interview. Okay, so I've got everybody in the room now, great. So here's the deal. You go to a job interview and you're going to say, well, what's my weaknesses? What do you think your weaknesses are? And how many times have you ever heard or have you done this yourself? Well, you know what, my weakness is I care too much. Or you say, my weakness is my standards are just too high. That's my weakness. Or I work too hard. I'm an overachiever. We have this great way of making our weaknesses sound like strengths when not so much. That's because most people, in my opinion, I don't think we understand how to identify what's a strength and what's a weakness. Okay? Most people say, well, my strengths are what I'm good at. I would say no. How many of you are good at something and you hate doing it? What do you call that? Good answer, Karen. It's a good one. And we won't tell everyone where you work. So here's the deal. You all do some things, I do some things that we don't like doing. We can't call them strengths. But I'll tell you this, a strength, an activity that when you finish it, strengthens you, that's a strength. But an activity that weakens you after doing it, that you wish you didn't have to do, even if you're good at it, it's a weakness. When you get into the roles of leaders and managers, especially managers, good ones play people to their strengths. what sense does it make to take someone who is fledgling? They cannot handle what you want them to do in the internet department, and you keep forcing them into administrative duties and all types of management that they can't get. Incompetent? They're not capable? So, think about that. Recognition and compensation. Okay. Sometimes, if you're really good as a manager, and even as a leader, of recognizing that highly creative person, of recognizing the person that brings in all the new ideas about what you're going to do with specials, because I'm sure you all have 100% specials on your websites all the time. You recognize people, and guess what? You might actually slow down the next time they're going to knock on the door for a raise, because oftentimes people end up keeping the door in and out of the dealership going because they never get any recognition. There's never any acknowledgement for what they bring to the store. And then beyond that, then you get into compensation, where still way too many people that are working in internet departments are solely compensated based on commission for cars sold. Nothing else. This is a danger zone because most of these people, at least the ones that you expect to manage in some way, are also laden with the responsibilities of managing several vendor relationships, having the login and passwords to several tools. They're the ones that are supposed to have all the information about what's going on with blogs now, what's going on with social networks, and what does Google say about this. And this person has a tremendous amount of responsibility. Not to mention all of that they need to manage, but they also have to sell cars. In the middle, they're actually the people that you don't recognize. They never get the pat on the back.